all you will need is your stretch strap this morning. If you like a headrest, go ahead and have something there, or for kneeling for your knees, some type of cushion for the knees. Otherwise, we're going to start a little bit wider than sits bones and just hold that stretch strap anywhere you feel comfortable. And we'll just start some shoulder mobility. So just start a little bit of, as I fall backwards, a little bit of rocking back and forth. And as you start that, thinking from the pubic bone, belly button to rib cage, that gentle zipper, we're just going to start rolling those shoulders up and back. As we're doing that, I'm just really gently swaying back and forth from my feet, just getting that foundation on the floor. Inhale nose, exhale mouth, and then relax the shoulders down, start to reach the arms up. And if you can't get them going up and behind, widen your grip and bring it all the way around. And then come back up. So we're just going to inhale, exhale as we just float those arms over. If you find you're getting to here and you're sort of going one then the other, loosen up your grip and open up your arms wider. So we want those shoulders to flow over equally and then come around. And kind of mind's eye if you notice they're not coming around equally. On this one, we're going to bring it around so it goes to where you feel a bit of tension. Then bend your elbows, making a bit of a W. And then in this position, I just want you to lift your heart a bit and bring it back down. So it's a small movement. I'm just giving a little lift and an exhale neutral. One more time, little lift and an exhale neutral, and then continue the arms all the way down. Turn your palms and then press that away and bring it back. So a little bit of shoulder extension where we're pressing the arms through to the back. Notice as you do this, the tendency is to roll forward to feel your arms are going farther, only as high as you're not collapsing through your chest line. Go one more time, reach it up, bring it down, unfold, come all the way around, roll it down, and just put your hands on your quads and around your spine. And from here, I want you to lengthen into your neutral. And we're just going to go cat-cow. So exhale, we're going to round up a little bit and tuck the tailbone. And then inhale and squat deep. Exhale, round. Inhale and lower. Two more. Exhale and round and curl. And go lower. And one more time. Round and curl. And go lower. On this one, heel toe open. And place the hands down, go all the way down to the floor. So from there, I might need to widen out my hips a bit. And I'm just going to spin a little bit. So this one's always a little tight first thing in the morning if you're just getting going here. Find your inhale, exhale as you pivot from left to right. And we'll come back down to this again. Slowly float all the way up. Point your knees, toes, hips, ankles forward. Float it all the way to tall. And at the very top, give a little wiggle with those shoulders. So let's find ourselves in sits bones. Take an inhale, hold that band a little tighter, that strap, and just reach it forward and give me a couple squats. So if you want to go a little wider than sits bones, go right ahead. Shoot the bum back, reach the arms forward, and we're just reaching for our chair with our booty. I'm just going to go 4 more. And the arms are only coming as high as about the ears. If they can't come that high, don't worry about it. Go 1 more, stay down here. Lower the arms so they're just in front of you. Drop your shoulders away. Roll the weight forward. Roll the weight back. So you're just coming up just a little bit on the ball of the foot, finding the balance. If you can come higher, by all means, go ahead. Draw those abdominals in and just find that nice balance. Go 1 more time. Leave that down. Place the hands on the quads and lengthen the legs to straighten. If you're okay, you're going to let those arms dangle down. If not, quads, shins, or the floor. Look through your legs. Take a couple really big breaths here as you just dangle that body down, feeling the stretch through the hamstrings into the lower back. Neckline is long, looking through the legs. And then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, slowly curl all the way up. And when you get to the top, just wiggle those shoulders back. Bring it back into sits bones. Hold that rope or that strap about waist distance. And without moving your pelvis, inhale, rotate the rib cage. Exhale, bring that back. Inhale, rotate, and bring it back. So as I do that, as I rotate around, I'm taking my back hand and I'm pulling it a bit farther without letting my pelvis go, hopefully, and bring it back. And then rotate, take a peek, cut the room in half with your vision, bring it back. 1 more time each way. Inhale, rotate, stay here, gift it forward and give me a little a little flexion. Inhale, come to tall. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate, then press those arms out a little bit. Pull and stack in. Bring it to center, roll those shoulders. Reach that, hold it fairly high up, and just take yourself into a lateral flexion. Now, right now, my bottom arm is reaching farther than my top. I'm going to pull it in, lean my hips in opposition, and then pull down a little bit on that top hand as I actively reach the top arm. Couple inhales, exhales as you're looking down. The bigger the breath, the more you'll stretch. And then let that arm drop down and stir your pot. Just give that shoulder a nice little roll. And then go ahead, stir the other direction. Look through, grab hold, use your abdominals and pull yourself all the way back to tall. Come out of that, give a few little wiggles. And then same thing, other side, reach it, stack your shoulders down. Over we go. Pull the bottom arm in so that it's straight in line with the top arm. And then reach that out, look to the floor, and then actively push the top arm out as you pull down a little bit with the bottom arm. And then find massive breaths here. The closer your feet are, the more lean you can get, the harder this stretch will be. So kind of choose wisely. Let that bottom arm go and stir your pot. Again, really big breaths are difficult, but do increase the stretch. Go ahead and rotate the other direction. Then sneak your hand in place, use your abdominals, and bring it all the way back up to tall. Roll those shoulders, give a little wiggle here. So go ahead and widen out your stance. We're just going to do a few roll downs. So just roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's go all the way down to the floor. Give me a passive squat and just start to pivot that left and right again, getting those hips, getting some more mobility. See how far down that can go. When you come up, get right up on the ball of foot, bend the knee, bend the ankle, get into the hip, and then spin to the other side. So again, if this is a little tight, you're up here shifting, which is perfectly fine. Go where your body will go. Just try and get in there a little bit into the joints. Get nice and deep here. If you can drop your heels down, do so. Take your elbows, push them into your inner thigh a little bit, and then lengthen out your spine. Beautiful. Again, if you're sitting taller, that's fine. Try and drop your hips right down, push into those elbows with those knees, or vice versa, knees with those elbows. Little no on the neckline, nice big breath. And then grab hold of the strap as you slowly curl up. I bring my feet back into parallel, and then I slowly stack myself to tall. Go ahead and wiggle those shoulders. Place that band just to the front for now, or that strap. Come on to the end of your mat, and let's just do some free flow here. When you're ready, reach the arms, come all the way around the corner, bend the knees, hips, ankles, hands to the floor. Walk it out to 4-point cat. 1, 2, knees down on 3 and 4. Uncurl the toes, and let's just do some cat-cow here, you guys. So drop your tailbone, exhale as you round up. Inhale as you sit back. Wiggle those fingers forward, round that spine, take a massive breath into your back. Exhale as you come back up into your angry cat. And then go through into your neutral, past neutral into your cow. So tailbone is lifted, head is lifted, belly button is dropping down, but it's connected. Big breath. Exhale, round the spine, hollow it out. Inhale, sit back, reach those hands. Try and stretch them a little farther forward so you feel almost like a pull in your lats. And then come back up into your rounded. And then go through into that cow. Big breath here. And exhale, find yourself in neutral. So holding in neutral, let's go to those sternum drops. Drop through your shoulder blades, press away. Inhale, exhale. So we're just feeling that chest line coming down towards the floor without actually bending and straightening the elbows. Now go ahead and stay like you've got a shelf in your shoulders. I take my toes and I lift my knee and I purposefully curl my toes under, because that's always a big stretch for me, and then push back into the toes, a little bit of pins and needles here. So we're just going to shift forward and backwards into that pins and needles. Just feeling the back of those toes now getting a little stretched out into the ankles. The knees are getting a little deeper with each push. And then if you're able to, go ahead and stay here. Grab that band or that strap and sit back into the heels. Now, if that sit of your body weight is too deep, come up here to press into the heels. Otherwise, back we go. Slide that band behind your back, but hold it tighter than we did in the warm-up. So I brought mine fairly close. Now I'm just going to lift that and lower it. Again, isolate your chest. Try and keep yourself from rolling forward and just get that little mobility in that anterior deltoid through the pec line. Hold that as loose as you need to. At the same time, you're getting those toes stretched out. Let's go 2 more. And last one. And then I just want you to push that down towards the floor. Pull your shoulder blades back and lift your heart here. If you can reach down and get your fingertips to touch the floor as you open, go ahead. One more big breath. And then bring that back to neutral. And just go ahead and slide that band forward again. Come off that and relax out those poor little toes. Just give them a little paddle. So reach your hands what feels too far forward. Pull your body forward and then slowly bring yourself down to stretch out through that lower back area. So find a little lateral rotation, doesn't have to be very big. And we're just going to find a little Mackenzie or a little bit of that floppy push-up. And then bring it down. If you've got a bit more without tightening the glutes, so give everything a wiggle and a jiggle. Without tightening the glutes and the abs, if you've got a bit more of an extension in your body, go ahead. Remember, the idea is to not pull the abs up and in. And draw it down. And you're just inchworming. We're just going to do 3 or 4 of these. You're just inchworming as tall as you can come. I'm slouching into my shoulders. I'm slouching into my elbows. I'm not worrying about it. This is about that gentle Mackenzie. It's trying to get into that movement into our spines. Bring it up. Feel that connection. Give a little no on the neckline. Make sure you're not holding any extra tension there. And then bring it down, and we're going to find a bit more connected. So still in the lateral rotation, find your arms more in Sphinx. So my elbows are right underneath my shoulders, my palms are to the floor. I'm going to feel as if I'm going to pull my arms back towards me, but I can't actually move them. They're stuck on the ground. And when I do that, I'll retract my shoulders together a little bit, draw my abs in. The glutes may turn on. That's fine. I'm going to look my chin forward if I'm able to. Now, if that chin looking forward is difficult, please go ahead and let the neck go down. From here, pull your abs up off the floor, in theory, and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Really focus on taking those shoulders, if they're creeping forward and you're starting to slouch, to pull them back and lift the heart. And this is just turning on those back extensors, just starting to wake them up so that they are going to give us support as we're going through our movements. Find 2 more massive breaths. Inhale, nose, exhale, mouth. One more time. Turn your elbows out, bring yourself down. Put your palms on top of each other, rest your head into your palms, or turn your cheek, whatever feels more natural. Bring your legs back into parallel, open as comfortable. So instead of the turnout, bring them more parallel. And I want you to let your belly go and let your butt go. Now, all I want you to do is pull your abs up off the floor, in theory, but just think of that engagement. And exhale, let those abs go. One more time, pull them up. Exhale, let them go. Now this time, pull them up, keep them up. Pull them up, keep them up. Squeeze both your glutes. Relax your glutes, don't let the tummy go. Squeeze the glutes, don't let the tummy go. Relax the glutes. One more time, squeeze the glutes, keep the glutes squeezed. Think of extending your legs and you feel your quadricep tighten. Reach the legs will go straight. Pull the abs in a little stronger and lift the feet an inch off. Just hover it. Just hover it. Wake up that prone extension. Now, I just want you to lift one leg, maybe an inch or 2 higher without bending the knee, and then bring it down, and then lift the other. So I'm hovering both, but I'm lifting one ever so slightly with the other. That lift is not necessarily very big. I want you to focus more so on the leg being straight and the glute being connected. Now, sneak your hands out from underneath your forehead. And again, you don't have to lift any higher. It's just slightly up. And then I just want you to flirt the arms off the floor. So all I'm doing is hovering here into all my extensor muscles. The back of the posterior deltoid, the glutes, the hamstrings, the rectus spinae, all the way from the top of the head down. Everything's active. Just give me one more, and I'm doing those slow little lifts still. I'm just alternating a slow lift from left and right just on the legs. Lower everything down, widen out your knees, and push back into a nice big wide child's pose. Give a little rocking left and right. Inhale, exhale. Those back extensors now are kind of ready to go and turned on. They're ready to be active to support us through our movements. Bring your knees in tighter. Hands nice and strong, and let's find our first down dog. So curl those toes and lift, press into your first down dog. Now you already turned on the hamstrings, so you might feel those already. If this is tough, lift the heels, bend the knees. Otherwise, legs are straight, heels are down, and I'm wiggling my tailbone to left to right. I always find I slip on my mat here, so I kind of gently hold the sides of my mat so that I can push a little deeper without sliding. Couple inhales, exhales, walk your hands to your feet in 4, 3, all the way in on 2 and 1. Let everything dangle. Look through your legs. Inhale, exhale, and then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, articulate your spine. Big breath at the very top. Give me an extension. We're going to roll right back down, all the way down, you guys. Hands down to the floor. Walk it out all the way in 4, 3, full plank on 2 and 1. Now, if you want to be on the knees, go ahead and drop them down, uncurl the toes. Otherwise, we are in our plank, slightly supported, and we're just going to warm up those shoulders and those knees, hips, ankles a bit more. We're going back and forth. Inhale, exhale. So little pouncing cat here. So you're shifting everything forward and backwards. We're going to add a larger movement with our leg going out to the side of one of our hands. So as I pounce forward, I'm going to shift that leg and take a big step. Drop my knee just briefly. Hold a little mini stretch there. Don't get as deep as you can. And then press it back. And then the other side. And then we're going to hold briefly and bring it back. So remember, if you don't want to take the knee off and you want to stay down on the knee, it's going to look like this when I bring it back. I'm going to step forward and bring it back to my knee. So let's go ahead and continue this and pick up our tempo a little bit. Now, if you're feeling balanced, as you go forward on this one, freeze. You can drop the knee or keep it lifted. I'm going to keep mine lifted. And I'm going to reach that arm up to the sky, and I'm going to give some nice rotation as I open. I'm going to try and take that hand that's in the air, pull up my fingers, draw back on my palm, and reach it behind me. Big stretch to the rotations here. Bring it back to the center, pike your hips back. Other leg, nice big step. The hand comes off. I open my fingers, I pull my palm back so it's reaching for the fall wall, and I big breath into my chest. Bring it back one more time on each. Come forward and open, big rotation, you guys. And bring it back. And one more time. Step forward and open, big breath. Bring it all the way back. And then go ahead and prance into those heels a little bit here. Inhale, exhale for me, guys. Drop those heels, walk your hands back to your feet in 4, 3, all the way in on 2 and 1. Let everything dangle. Couple inhales, exhales. Now, if you're okay with this, we're going to change the headline. We're going to look down to the floor, so my neck is extended. I'm going to let my head dangle looking through my legs. It's neutral. Now I'm going to tuck it and look up to my pubic bone. It's in flexion. So very slowly move through a yes on your headline. Remember, your knees can be bent here. And then go ahead and bend the knees and slowly drag yourself vertebrae by vertebrae. Stack it all the way up. Big inhale at the very top. Arch it open. Hands down center heart. Give a little wiggle here. And then take the legs wide. Place the hands. Go lazy with the belly. And just push that Buddha belly forward. And then let your chest open up. I'm putting my hands in my PSIS. So if you think of your ASIS at the front and you just wrap it around, and you know how some people have those little dimples in their lower backs? Think of where that dimple would be. Slide your thumbs into there and just push those hips forward a little bit. Take a few cycles of breath and then pull yourself back slowly. Give a few little wiggles there. Let's go ahead and come to the very front of our mat. Find a lateral rotation. And we're going to come right down into our passive squat. We're going to roll once. We're going to come back up to this. We're going to roll once, get a diamond roll back to get stretched. So roll once, come back in, and then find your heels together, toes apart. And then we're going to come back to stand up, sit downs. We're just going to get that lower back a little more open here. So heels together, toes apart. I've got about 5, 6 fists between my heels and my pubic bone. I'm going to exhale, roll off my sits bones. Don't lose your chin in your chest. Inhale, pull it forward, stay here. Give a little wiggle of your insulation. Try and take that lower back vertical to the earth. So it's kind of going vertical, perpendicular. And then round your thoracic. And then peel to tall. Let's go again. Exhale, scoop. Again, shoulders go forward, chin goes forward, soften all of that. Inhale, come around the corner, give a little pull there, move your insulation, and then peel to tall. Give me one more. Exhale, scoop as you go back. Inhale, come around. Hands are going to go in between the legs and wrap around the feet. So now my feet feel too far away. I'm going to sneak them in a little bit, move my insulation, and round into my back. Now, if I'm feeling any tension in my toes, this is a great place to use your hands and just kind of articulate those toe joints a little bit. So all those little bones that are in between your feet, your wrists here and in the wrist area, and same thing with the toes, or the base of the foot, those are metacarpals and metatarsals, and those are joints that glide over each other. So you do want mobility in there. They move differently. They sort of glide over one another. And then peel to tall. Widen your feet. This one's going to be a good push. You're going to walk yourself back up into that passive squat. So if passive squat is a tough challenge for you, you're going to stay here. Grab your band if you know you're okay with this. And we're going to stand up, sit down. We're going to add that nasty roll. So if you're not doing the roll, you're just going to squat down big and passive and then come up tall. With the band, we'll reach it up. So we're going to come right down and then go ahead and roll. Get your feet underneath you. Oh, not today in my lower back. Oh, and bring it up. That was an ugly challenge. Let's do 3 more. Round. Get that underneath you and stand tall. Go 2 more. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, in and up. And last one, nice big round. Roll. Get that underneath you. Bring it up. On this one, roll and stay down. Let's roll and sit to tall in your sits bones. Just lay that band across your hips. Take your legs as wide as your mat will invite. If your back is tight, roll up your mat or sit up on a block. And we're just going to hold that band reaching out in front of us. I keep calling it band. It doesn't have an elasticity to it, the strap, you guys. Drop your shoulders away. I'm holding it, if I go to my knees, I'm holding it probably a good half a foot off each of the knees, so it's quite wide. It's quite wide here. Take an inhale, sit tall. As I exhale, I'm going to rotate. Rotate a little bit more. Rotate a bit more. I'm going to pull that backhand a little bit. Look to the backhand. Don't let that hip go. And then bring it all the way back to center. Drop your shoulders. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Look to the backhand. Give it a peek. Exhale, center. Again, inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Sit super tall. Inhale, rotate. Look to the backhand. Exhale, center. Last time. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Drop your shoulders down, guys. Inhale, rotate. Big breath. Exhale, center, and release that out. Let that go. Leave the band staying there. Reach the arms. Point the thumbs to the sky. We're going to rotate as far as we can. Turn our back thumb upside down. Take the top hand, keeping lateral to the earth on the lumbar. Stretch forward. Now look to the backhand and reach that backhand into shoulder extension. Now, as you stack to tall, take that backhand and reach it so the shoulder opens, then bring it back to center. Inhale, rotate. Turn your thumb upside down. Exhale, soft. Inhale, stretch it, and then open that palm. Bring it to center. Inhale, rotate. Turn that thumb upside down. Soft forward. Inhale, reach it like someone's pulling it away. And then center. Last time, inhale, rotate, thumb down. Exhale, saw. Inhale, stack tall. Exhale, center, and release that down. Roll those shoulders. Sneak yourself to the front of the mat. Bring your heels together, toes apart. So I have that little Pilates V. And I'm just going to roll off my sits bones. You can just leave this in your waistline as long as it doesn't catch underneath you. Roll off your sits bones, bring your feet just off. So from here, I'm just going to grab my hands down and around by my feet, and I'm just going to do a little sacral rock. So all I'm going to do is roll off my sits bones ever so slightly, and then come back towards them. I'm probably not right on top of them, just towards them. Exhale, little sacral rock. Inhale, come up a bit. One more time. It's quite small, little sacral rock. Inhale, come up. Now we're going to do 5 rolling like a ball. So all the way back. Inhale, tailbone to the sky. And exhale and freeze. Find your balance. Keep going with this. So the distance between my heels and my pubic bone, and then my knees and my shoulders does not vary as I do this. I also try not to funk back and land on my head. And if I can freeze ever so slightly, looking straight up at the sky, that's perfect. Now this time, roll back, stay back, roll back, and then just unfold yourself down there. Wiggle yourself to long. If you're a headrest person, go ahead and slide it into place. And we're just going to give that back a little stretch. So reach out one leg, bring up the other, and let's just give a little rotation into our spine. So go ahead and look off the opposite direction, give a little rotation, open up that lower back, couple inhales, exhales. I'm going to look the opposite direction that my knee is stretching. And I'm going to slowly come back to center. Stay there longer if you need to, you guys. Straighten out your opposite leg, bring up the knee, opposite hand, and then look over the opposite direction. Here I'm trying to take the palm that I'm reaching away with, the same direction I'm looking, to the sky. My palm is open so that my shoulder rotates open and I'm stretching through that front line. Nice big breath here. And then exhale, bring it all the way back to center. So we're going to get into some toe taps, guys. Find yourself in supported spine, knee fold one, knee fold the other. Watch you're not tucking your knees in. Get your brick wall slightly open on the legs. Option is the strap in your hands. And we're just going to find that shoulder movement. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a perfect place here. And I'm just going to find that arm movement first. So I'm going to take the arms over the head and bring them back. Inhale over, bring it back. So remember, nothing's happening in the rib cage, right? So once we have the arm pattern going, I'm going to alternate one leg and bring it up. Alternate the other. Now, if the knee tapping, the toe tapping is working, you can flex the foot, which means the leg has to go a little farther down. Or I can start to extend that leg out, finding a little bit more length, which is heavier. The lever's longer, it's heavier, it's harder. So I'm going to exhale out. Inhale in. What starts to happen is those ribs start to pop as we reach the arms out. And we want to keep those ribs connected. And as we reach the legs out, the pelvis starts to tilt. Anterior, posterior, more so anterior. One more. Now keep it here. We're going deathly slow for 4 doubles. 3. If you don't like doubles, do singles. 2 and 1. And then bring it up. Now you can go ahead and touch the back of the hand to the floor as well as the toes or the heels to the floor. But try and make sure that when you're touching it, it happens equally from left to right, right? We're not putting one down before the other. If this is working, you're going to straighten those legs out, really pull that core in tighter. So as you load heavier on the spine, you have to tighten your core more to not let it go into a tilted or anterior tilt. So just think of really drawing that in nice and strong and then bringing it up. Soften your shoulders so as the arms go over the head, they're nicely going over without really gripping into your shoulder girdle. And just give me one more here, you guys. Press it all the way out. Should feel those hip flexors getting a bit of load here. And bring it all the way in. And then slowly fold one, slowly fold the other. Put the arms over the head with the strap. And give me that little windshield washer on the legs. So here I'm going internal, external rotation as I go through the center. Moving my hip socket, not just my pelvis. Find your cycle of breath. And then go ahead and bring it back into center position. Leave the strap over top of your head for this one. And we're just going to do 2 of the series of 5 exercises. So I want you to find yourself in supported spine, knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. And as you roll up, you're going to kick one leg out. Don't lower it, kick it high. Right? So it's like aiming at a bullseye. And then you're going to roll up and you're going to bring the other knee closer in, place your hands behind your head and rotate to that knee. So I'm going to do obliques. I'm going to go inhale, exhale. I'm just doing them singles. Exhale. Now, if this is difficult, you can put your head down and just do the alternating knees, or you can just do the alternating upper body and ignore the legs. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Pull those abs in nice and strong. Don't try and get your elbow to the knee. Get your chest to the knee. Not literally. 4 more. And 3. Feel those obliques turn on. 2. And 1. Now stay in the middle here. Nice and strong. Lift the legs or keep them bent. and we're going to do a toe tap, but the head is up, or what we call lower lift. So it goes down and it comes up, but I'm staying rolled up. So the abs are in flexion as well as working on stabilization. So let's go 4 more. Really watch that you're not tilting your pelvis. 3 more. Try and stay rolled up the whole time. Support your neck. Exhale, 2 more. And give me one last one. All the way up. Grab behind the knees. Bend them. Roll it up. And we're going to get a little tabletop. Turn your fingers to face your booty. If that's difficult, turn your fingers out. Line up your heels so they're parallel and in line with your sits, and up we come into our tabletop. So if tabletop's okay, look to the sky. Big breath here. Exhale, bring it down. 2 more. Exhale, lift, open, and bring it down. So big breath when you're up in that tabletop position, you guys. Exhale, bring it up, stay here. Massive inhale. Exhale down. Now we're going to do that wild thing. This hand is going to go out a bit and it's going to turn either to the side. I like it all the way to the back, but just don't jam your elbow out. And then I've got my tail. I'm going to come up. If I'm tight, this is where I'm going to go. If I'm okay, I'm going to lift a little higher with my pelvis, reach and take a peekaboo back. And then come right down onto both sits bones. I'm going to exhale, lift and reach. Big breath. And bring it down. We're going 2 more. So now we're getting into a lot of the movement into the shoulders. And bring it down. You've got 1 more. Lift it. Now bring it down. Now stay here. Make sure that you're more towards the top of your mat. And then we're going to lift up just a little bit and we're going to step it out into a plank. So I can rotate. Now if I don't like plank on side from my foot, I'll put my knee down here. And then I'm going to rotate both hips forward. From here, I can keep my leg behind or I can stack it on top. Yeah, and then that arm reaches and we're holding the balance. Let's go 5, 4, pull your shoulders down, 3, 2, and 1, and then lower lift your hips. Woo! If you need to, go to your elbow. Go 4 more. 4, lift. 3, 2, 1. I am wobbly today. Put that foot back behind. Bend the other knee. Come back down. Woo! Roll that arm that you were on. That's hard work on that arm. Bring it across the chest line. Hug it in. And then look the opposite direction of the shoulder. Oh, you're looking the direction of the shoulder. And now look the opposite direction where your hand is. Bring that down, give it a little wiggle and a roll. Set up the other side. So we're going to do 4 wild things and then hold up there, right? So be towards the end of your mat so that when you step out, your feet have somewhere to go. Otherwise, they slip if you're on carpet. So I'm going to wild thing up. Touch the sits bones down. 3 more. Exhale up. Inhale down. Make sure you're breathing. And lengthen and lift. And bring it down. We got 1 more. Lengthen and lift. Bring it down. Now this time you're only going to lift up part way. You're going to lift up. Now right away, if you want to go elbow, put your elbow down. Lift up part way. Send the leg out. Put the knee down if you need to. Rotate forward. And leg goes on top. So I'm not quite stacked over my shoulder. So I'm going to reset that. And then hold here. Imagine my hands underneath your hip. Pulling your hips up, holding your core. Your shoulders are softly drifting down into your back pockets. You're looking forward for 4, 3, 2, just use your breath. 1, now imagine my hands underneath your hips and you're lowering and lifting, which means you're laterally flexing through your oblique muscles. Let's go 4, 3, rectus spinae, QL, they're all part of this. 2, 1, find neutral, step the foot in, bend the other foot in, come all the way down. Woo! Roll the other shoulder. When you're ready, bring it across, get the little stretch, look the direction of the shoulder, and then look the direction of the fingers, and then bring it out, roll those shoulders. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and lie nice and long right on the edge of our mat. Again, bottom leg can be bent, anchored, reaching down, or reaching slightly lifted. I'm going to reach mine slightly lifted. my head is long. If you can't put your hand here, put it here and put some pillows underneath your neck so you're not cranked down. And then from here, we're just going to go into side leg lift series. Number 1, just point and flex as we lift and lower. Actively reach that bottom leg. Hand off makes it harder. If you can see this leg coming way up here, you for sure have laterally rotated open. I can't bring my leg up here and have my knee facing the front of the room. It's not going to happen. So be mindful that you're not rotating through your pelvis and lying back on your booty. Now from here, give me some nice little circles. Try and come forward with the circle, angle backwards. And if you put your hand on rib hip, you shouldn't feel yourself arch and flex through the pelvis area, rib to pelvis. Go ahead and unwind for 4, 3, try and actively straighten out that back leg in 2, and 1. Now we're going to do stagger. We're going to lift the top, lift the bottom, and then lower both. Lift, lift, lower both. Try on this one to not sickle the ankle to get there. Get the foot there, right? Get the inner thigh there. Lift, lower. Last time. Lift, lift, lower. Now doubles, lift both. 5, 4. Exhale as you lift. 3, 2, 1. Now anchor that foot on the floor. If anchoring's hard, you can bend the knee, right? If you've got kind of some stuff in the toes. The farther forward this leg is, the easier the exercise is going to be, the more stable it's going to be. I'm going to take my bottom hand and put it underneath. Top hand, again, if you don't like that, just skip this part. I'm going to do 2 kicks forward. And then as I point my toe, I'm going to flex it behind, and I'm going to lift this rib cage off. So I'm going to go inhale, inhale, exhale. So double or single kick. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Let's go 3 and 2. Keep nice and long in your torsos. And last 1. Now keep that leg extended behind you. Lift the ribs and lower them. So the same idea that we were doing in the plank, but we're more solid on the ground. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Hold those rib cages up. Pull your shoulders down. 4, 3. Maybe you can lift your bottom leg. Oh, there she is. 2 and 1. Pull those legs in, and we're going to press to bring ourselves into mermaid. Try and take this top hip and relax it down. Beautiful. So finding your mermaid, take that back hand, rotate the shoulder, rotate the torso. And then this hand can go down, smaller back, or reach. And I'm going to warm up that tricep. As I go down, I am going to lift my back leg, squeeze the booty. If I'm able to and it feels okay, I'll kick it out. I can leave it long and straight when I come up. Now my hip's not inviting that, so I'm going to keep my leg bent. But if your leg likes that long, straight hold, go ahead. I'm going to go 4 more. Lean your weight into the tricep of that arm that's on the ground. 3 more. Long torsos in. 2 more. And last 1. Tuck that leg in tighter. Sit back on the booty and give me lateral flexion the opposite direction. Nice strong breath there. Then rotate down towards that side. Back up to center. Bring it all the way out. Take this leg, we're going to wrap it right over. Now if that's tough, you can straighten out that one leg, okay? We're going to bring it all the way over and then try and get this butt cheek down. Now as my butt cheek goes down, my bottom foot lifts off. I'm not going to worry about that. First thing I'm going to do is hug that knee in for a stretch. Trying to sit tall. So I've got a bit of rotation, but that's not my focus here. My focus is pulling it so I'm internally rotated and I'm deeply flexed in the hip. So both of those. Couple little breaths there. And then I'm going to let go with that leg, take this elbow, rotate a little deeper, press it on the side, and then try and rotate in my spine a bit more. Couple little breaths there, open up into rotation as well. And then gently come out of that. We're going to unpretzel those legs, and we're just going to reach them off the opposite direction, lying long. So we're going to go into that single leg lift and then the single kick as well. So I can bend the knee, anchor the toe, reach it on the ground or reach it off. Off is harder. reach that arm, and let's go into the first one, which is the lift and lower. Add the point and flex to the foot if you want to. Really think of the distance between the top rib and the bottom, top rib and top hip, and bottom rib and top hip as staying square. There will be a tendency to drop your rib cage down, where then one side is flexed and one side is actually lengthened. We want both fairly equal, so we're stabilizing that core there. Now, if you need 2 fingertips down and start those circles, so side leg lift series 2 is my little circles. If you don't need your hand down, go ahead and lift it off. You'll notice when I lifted mine off, I then anchored with my fingertips on my bottom hand. Be mindful where you start. Like I took this hand off, so then this hand went, well, fine, I'll anchor here. Be mindful of those kind of little changes you make in your body. Turn the other direction if you haven't yet. This side is just not working in stability very nicely for me today, evidently. And then we're going to do our stagger, lift the top, lift the bottom, lower both. Notice on this, if you feel a large deviation in the waistline, as I lift both, did your waistline collapse to the ground? It's going to go down a bit because it's a lateral flexion you're fighting, but try and be mindful to not totally let it drop. Lift, lift, lower. Now move both. 5, doubles, 4, same rule applies. 3, 2, 1, and then anchor that front foot nice and strong. Reach the top leg straight out from the hip socket. If you can, this elbow goes back and your perch nice and open. Here we tend to arch, so pull those rib cages in, and then we're going to go 2 kicks forward, 1 kick back, and as you kick back, if you're ready, you're going to lift the rib cage. Inhale, inhale, exhale. So remember that lift of the rib cage is lateral flexion up to the sky. You are using your elbow as an anchor point to achieve this. Try not to make it a forward rib cage movement. Let's go 2 more. And 1 more. Now stay in the open. Keep that leg reaching back. Lift the ribs. Stay here and let's just isolate that rib cage. 5, 4. Try and get that top leg reaching behind you. 3, 2. Nice. 1. And then come down, pull the knees in as you use that as a bit of momentum to let you come up. And find your mermaid. Tuck that heel in, drop that booty down, settle into your hips here. And we're going to go into our rotational mermaid. So that hand comes down, floor, back, reach, wherever you want, right? And then just maybe start your first one with both hands down. If it feels good, you start to teeter-totter. Still okay, you can reach out that base leg. I'm going to keep mine bent. I'm only going to reach it when I go down. When I come up, if I'm reaching it right now, it's just getting into my lower back a little too much. It's not working for me today. So I'm going to choose not to go there. Remember, just choose what is challenging you nicely, but stable and doesn't feel like it's irritating anything, right? Go 3 more. And go 2. Inhale down, exhale up. Or the other way, as long as you're breathing, I'm not too concerned. 1 more time. Stay in the up, tuck that heel in closer, drop that booty, and let's go lateral flexion off the other way. So you might have to kind of settle. Remember, you can sit your hips up on a block if you need to here, right? And then rotate down, back to face me. Good strong reach with that top arm, you guys. And then bring it all the way out. This leg is going across. Remember, if that's bothering you, straighten out your base leg. Tuck that in. And then our bigger concern here is hugging it in so we feel that glute getting stretched. So my spine is rounded a little bit as I'm doing that. I'm not going to fight that. All right, that's not going to be my primary. My primary is really feeling the stretch go into the glute. So if I need to roll back into my hips for any reason, that's perfectly fine. If you can lengthen up a little bit, it'll pull deeper. Go right ahead. You'll notice my bottom foot, this one here dangling, it's not on the floor. I can't get it there. That's not happening. I'm missing the glute stretch. If I get it there, I miss my glute. And then I'm going to place it down. So I've widened it out and moved it away from my chest a bit so I can go into that rotational. Here I do want to try and spiral to tall as I rotate open. My backhand is just kind of anchored on the floor behind me. Couple really nice breaths there, guys. 1 more breath. And then slowly de-rotate. Beautiful. We're going to go into our extension work. Bring your feet to the back. Bring your strap Place it just to the very front for now, and then rotate forward onto your belly. So find a lateral rotation of hip and socket. My feet are moving, my inside of my ankle bone is just going to the outside of the mat in the corner, so I feel equal on both sides. I'm not going to use my rope right away. I'm going to start with a little bit of swan, hands down beside you, shoulders shifted into back pockets, pull your belly buttons in, push the marble with your nose, press into those hands a bit, and just come into the first one that doesn't feel too overwhelming. We just want to come up nice and strong and connected, so we are not doing floppy, we're doing connected. And then bring it down. Let's go again. Press, lengthen it up. As you lengthen up, go ahead and peek over one direction. Don't let your shoulders go. And then bring it to center as you look down. And the other direction, lengthen. Reach those legs actively. Take a peekaboo. Bring it down. So we're going to do swan dive 3. I'm going to lengthen up with connection. As I come down, I'm going to squeeze my butt cheek, squeeze one leg, and the one leg is going to reach up. Don't drop your head. Keep your head lightly lifted. And then lengthen up. Squeeze the opposite butt cheek. The elbows slip down as you lift. So if you see my thoracic and my extension and the neckline is still there. And then I lengthen up. So don't lower your upper torso right down to neutral. Keep a gentle extension. Find one glute actively reaching and lengthening and lifting while the other is long to the floor. And then lengthen up, bring it all the way back down. Let your booty have a wiggle left, right. Place your forehead into your hands or turn your cheek. And we're going to go into our double leg kick. We're going to take that strap, put it in the small of our back. When I grab the strap, I still want my elbows and my shoulders to be able to just drip to the floor. So I want to hold it loose enough that it's getting a little bit of a stretch in there, but this successfully can drop down. And then turn your ear and plug it into the floor. So right now in this position, I'm actually getting a neck stretch as well, which is perfectly fine. And I'm just going to do the foot pattern here with my head turned. I'm going to flex my heels and pump them towards my butt 3 times. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. As I point my toes and reach them away, there's a bungee cord from my heels to my hands, and I'm going to find my extension in the center. Now my head is neutral. Try not to peek up too much. Turn your cheek the other way and fold all the way down. Stay down here for a moment and turn this side of your neck and feel the stretch here on this side. So stay here with this neck stretch happening here for a few moments. Get your shoulders away from your ears. Stretch those legs out and let your booty go. Let's get the neck stretched out. One more breath. And then let's do our pumps. We're going to start the exercise again. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Reach the legs, come center, extension, turn the cheek and go. 1, 2, 3, reach. Inhale, 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 exhale. Now, if you're really wanting to, you're going point, flex, point, reach, or ignore that and just flex the feet. 2, reach. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, reach. Give me one more. Pull those abs in. Don't push your tummy to the floor. Stay in the reach here. Lower the legs. Find that strap in a position you can add shoulder extension while lengthening through thoracic and cervical. Now, if that's difficult, lower this down a little bit with your upper torso. If need be, if the neck is tight, go ahead and put a pad underneath and let your head touch down. Otherwise, keep a gentle extension in the thoracic and cervical as you lengthen and draw those abs in. Go 2 more. And last one, we're going to do breaststroke. You're going to leave that strap and you're going to take your hands to the side, but hovering swan. Dive into the water, lower yourself down a bit. Take your pinkies to your thighs, lift. If you're feeling good, lift those legs as well. Hold this hover, thumbs to shoulders, legs are straight like that practice we did at the start. Exhale, dive. Inhale, pinkies to thighs, hold that, thumbs to shoulders, big breath. Exhale, dive. 2 more. Pinkies to thighs, hold, thumbs to shoulders, and dive. Give me one more. Pinkies to thighs, thumbs to shoulders, and dive. On this one, pinkies to thighs, hold, thumbs to shoulders, relax them down, and push back. Woo, into your child's pose. I've gone wide with the legs. If that feels okay and you want to come to full tall in recovery, come up tall. If you want to round your spine, you can. If it feels like you need more rounding than what this position's giving you, come up into a little bit of moving back and forth, borderline kind of an angry cat position. So I've come up a little deeper, and I'm just shifting forward and backwards here. Couple little breaths there. And then roll it all the way up to the knees. The strap can be used if you want. We're going into a little bit of thigh stretch. So I'm having my legs a little wider. I have a small anterior tilt, not a massive one, just a little baby. And I'm just gonna lie back with my thighs. This one's contraindicated on the knees if you have a lot of knee stuff going on. Decide whether you like it or not. Band or strap is totally optional. I'm gonna lie back with my thighs. First, just my thighs. My torso's not going anywhere. I'm gonna bring it forward. So again, lie back with the thighs, be nicely connected. If it feels okay, roll your shoulders open, lift your heart, give a little extension on the thoracic and the neck. Bring that in, pull it all the way to tall. Harder is going to be the weight of the arms, right? So you don't have to choose them. I'm gonna lie back, roll my shoulders back, lift my heart. If it feels good, I can bring the arms above, those are heavy. And then come back nice and tall. I can keep my hands here above the head if I want, or bring them forward, which is a little easier. One last one, rib hip, lie back strong, keep that connection, lift the heart, bring that back, bring it all the way through. Go ahead and just throw that band off to the side, hinge at your hips, feet go down, curl the toes, and just stretch into those feet. Paw at that floor. Right, we're just working hard at pointing those toes or pointing the ankles and stuff. That gets your calf line. So paw here a little bit. Go ahead down into a nice down dog if you want. Inhale, exhale. And then we're going to walk our feet to our hands. Feet to hands. 4, 3. Bend your knees as you need to on 2 and 1. You're towards the front of your mat. And then I'm just going to fold to come all the way up. I'm going to do one sit down roll. So I'm going to go nice and wide. Come down into my passive squat. I'm going to roll and I'm going to stay down here. So I'm going into roll overs. We haven't done these ones for a little while. Option for roll over, if you're not going up and over, you can do the feet crossed, do a little hip lift, uncross toe tap, switch lead leg hip lift, uncross toe tap. Or you can put a bender ball or some type of block underneath or foam roller, which helps your booty get over. That's an option too. No headrest on this. Find a supported spine, knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. So again, cross if you're doing the modified, not going up on the shoulders. Otherwise, reach the legs out actively. Inhale up, exhale, over you go. So I'm going to hang out here for a second, place my hands on my PSIS area and let my knees go right over top. I'm going to bend and straighten, tuck my chin in, and find a little bit of a deeper flexion through my whole spine. Now, if that doesn't feel good, unfold yourself and come out. That's more like plow. And then I'm going to peel vertebrae by vertebrae until I anchor my tailbone, find a strong supported spine, and then lower the legs, only as far as I don't arch. Inhale up, exhale over, let it tap down if you want. Open the legs a little bit, slight lateral rotation, harder arms above the head. All right, so the minute I take my arms above the head, I have no longer my tricep option to use. Lengthen it down, bring your legs together in parallel. Inhale up, exhale over, tap if it doesn't bother the neck. Open the legs in parallel. I'm going to add a flexion to the foot as I peel, which activates that hamstring stretch more. Once my tailbone is down, I'm going to point, reach it down and away, bring my legs together. One more time. Inhale up, big exhale as you fold over. Let it touch, open, flex, peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Tailbone anchors, point the toes, circle your legs all the way down and around, and then bring those to tabletop. Reach the arms down by your sides. So we're going to play with corkscrew here. I'm going to turn my booty in corkscrew in the up and over position. I want to shift my knees off to one side, bring them back, shift them to the other. bring them back. If that's okay, you straighten the legs, you shift them. Bring them back. Shift them. Bring them back. Now, if you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to go up on my shoulders. I want you going into that hip line and doing a little lateral flexion here. Neutral, lateral flexion, neutral. Switch the cross of the legs. All right? Now, if you're trying that full corkscrew, let's give it a go. So I'm all the way up and over. I take my knees off to one side. I roll down one side of my spine. Press my legs away. Now I'm in straight, like a teaser, coming up and come up on the other side of the spine, and now I'm straight again. Off to one side. Exhale, roll down one side of your spine. Reach that down and away. Inhale, come up on the other side, straighten it out. Go ahead and do another full set of those. If you're not rolling over, you're in lateral flexion here with hip lift. I'm laterally flexing, coming to center, and then doing my little extension toe tap. Cross, lateral flexion, neutral, extend, toe tap or leg reach. So one more of whatever you chose there, you guys. Corkscrew is a tough exercise. Nice, nice. So I just want you to find where it works for you. On the last one, either crossed here or over, peel it down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're there, grab behind the legs, use that to bring yourself up. So that's our little corkscrew. It's been ages since we've done it. Got to throw those in once in a while. Rotate yourself back. And let's find that little down dog here. Walk your feet away, pot that floor a little bit, shift your shoulders down, and then lower both heels, push deeper into that tush, give a little no on your neckline. So if you can't give a no on your neckline, your shoulders are wrapped up. I'm going to face you this way for a second and get my hair out of the way. So if I'm here, I'm going to move my mat so I don't go flying. If I'm here, but I'm pushing away from the ground and my shoulders are wrapped, see how there's all that congestion? I need to shift those shoulders open and away and then drop into the stretch. If I'm pushing and I'm hyperextending and kind of jamming into that elbow, I won't free up my neck. Free up your neck. Here, guys. And then walk it in, bend your knees, slowly come all the way to tall. Ooh, so we had some flexion that we finished with, and you know my feelings on finishing with flexion. Open the hips nice and wide, hands on PSIS, and very gently just push those hips forward so we're not finishing in that closed position. If you're okay, bring that chest line up. If this is just really aggressive without something supporting your pelvis, like lying down position, I'm going to put my pubic bone on the wall, and I'm just going to press away here, right? So that way my weight is actually into the wall. It's a little less aggressive. And then slowly come out, and we're going to do a couple little glides. So keeping everything in line, it's not a lateral flexion. I'm nice and wide to let the belly go. I'm just going to glide my hips off to one side. And this is where I'm really locked up for my body right now. Glide that off and bring it to center. Just two more glides. Glide it off. Bring it center. And I just feel lots of gripping in my body on this today. Glide it off. Bring it center. Let's go the other way. Glide. So if you're watching my range of motion, this just shows you how locked I am on one side. There's where I'm going on this side. Here's where I'm going on this side. That is a phenomenal difference between left and right. So be mindful, if both sides were of equal, all right, at least then my body's moving equally. It still means I'm locked up and I need more range. But if you've got one side that's not even getting close to the range of another when it comes to spinal movement, then all of your spinal movements, your hips, your patterns will all be kind of off, right? So we want to be mindful of those kind of things. So let's take a big breath up. Nice and strong. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, hands down, center heart, little wiggle jiggle. And then the other direction, lift and open, bring it all the way around. Right back to center, roll those shoulders. And we are done.